So, I want to talk about this movie, Mute. But more than that, I want to talk about dialogue. Dialogue is really important in the realm of writing. Being able to convey information that the characters know to the audience is kind of paramount to writing a story. So, in my opinion, you've reached master level dialoguing when you're able to create a scene with multiple different people having a conversation and get off the proper or the appropriate amount of information to the audience while still making the scene feel like a real scene, not having anyone say anything that feels like weird or unnatural or anything like that, right? The scene has to feel real. The conversation has to be something that a real person would say, but you also, as a writer, have to get to the audience a particular set of information, right? That's the point of a dialogue. You're a master dialoguer, I think, when you're able to do all of those things with complex information. You know, to have a conversation go from subject to subject, each subject being important in their own way, either building the realism or the relatability of a particular character, or even giving the audience some type of information. So I say all of that to say that is done pretty well in this movie. A movie called Mute. You can watch it on Netflix. But this scene in particular, there's a scene at the bowling alley where our main antagonist basically is having a conversation with his best friend. And I don't want to give the scene away, right? But throughout that whole scene, our characters are having a conversation that is absolutely genuine. How they flow from subject to subject feels real. But as they're going, you're learning different things about each character, how they are in the world, how they see the world, how they interact with it. And there are high points and low points in that conversation where you can just feel the tension and understand every emotion at play on screen. And the great thing is that all of these things that you're now learning are important for later on in the show. To me, that is just it's a masterful scene. You know, it shows you how dialogue is supposed to work. And I think that you're a great dialoguer when you're able to do that. When someone can say, I'll give you 3 topics. Now, get the information that you need to get the information to the audience and have this conversation flow from topic to topic in a natural way. If you can do that, you're golden. You're A++. But also I wanted to talk about this movie because the way that it was marketed on Netflix was really, really weird. Every time I saw it, it was in this picture of Paul Rudd, funny guy Paul Rudd. And it made me think that that's what this movie is about. If you haven't seen this movie is not that. This movie is not what they're showing you. It's not a comedy or anything like that. Now, I was pleasantly surprised by it, by what it actually was. And Paul Rudd, I think, did an amazing job selling his character. He is not at all funny man Paul Rudd in this movie. He's not in the least. He takes on a much more serious role in nature, much more threatening. But he pulls it off, in my opinion. Like I said, I was surprised, but I was pleasantly surprised. But don't do this anymore, Netflix. I understand why you did it. Because it's Paul Rudd, you put his face on something, it's going to sell. I get it. But this is not the movie that I thought it was going to